Hello, it's Concord Wind. Today we're going to be reading from the Word, Volume 1. I've already, look how big this book is. It's amazing. I'll never get over that. So I'm going to read some questions that were asked at the end of the words of Christ as he walked in the churches. And then I'm going to read some of Genuine Love for God is Spontaneous. So, God says, ask these questions to keep yourself vigilant. Does the knowledge within you interfere with your service to God? That's number one. Does the knowledge within you interfere with your service to God? So if you have knowledge that's like, I can't think of a example that wouldn't be offensive. Because I want to be careful not to say something, and you guys take it to the extreme. Like being too busy. Do you think you're too busy to do your duty? Is that the knowledge you have? Is that your understanding of your circumstances and reality? Because, if you're able to understand God's words, if you're able to accept God's words, then you have the opportunity to do your duty, And you may, even if you only do your duty part-time, that's better than not doing your duty at all, And so, your duty is your service to God, and you must be dedicated and loyal in your service to God. You must be able to cooperate with God in your service. Number two, how many religious practices are there in your daily life? If you only present the appearance of piety, does this mean that your life has grown up and matured? Religious practices, I'm not very familiar with religious practices. Even when I just believed in the Bible and I didn't believe in this, I still spoke to God from my heart in my prayers. And the only religious practice that I know of was, I believed in God for the sake of blessings, which is religious, Number three, when you eat and drink the words of God, are you able to let go of your religious notions? That's important. Like the doctrine of the Trinity is a religious notion. When you read God's words, God tells us there's no such thing as a Trinity. There is no, divided, distinct personhoods of God. There's only one God. There's only one Creator. The Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit are different names for the same God and different, methods of work. The Father works in heaven, the Holy Spirit works on the earth, and the Son works in the flesh. And so it's different names for different manners of work that God puts into practice, Number four, when you pray, are you able to do away with religious ceremony? That's like what I was saying earlier, When you pray, speak your heart. Don't just, chant mantras or, chant slogans. And, you don't need to just repeat the same words over and over in prayer. I mean, that's ineffective. That's not going to accomplish anything. Number five, are you someone who is fit for use by God? Well, depending on how long you've been watching my sermons and listening to my songs, at this point, if you're not fit for use by God by now, don't give up. Keep pressing forward and, make yourself of use to God. Make yourself worthy of to be used by God. And how do you do that exactly? Well, the number one most important thing is you must accept the truth. Accepting the truth is the first step to being convinced of the truth. When you're convinced of the truth, you'll naturally want to practice the truth. You'll have that desire in you because people have the desire to want to practice what's true. The reason why people get corrupted by Satan is because they believe Satan's words are true. Like money makes the world go round, every man for himself. Those are words of Satan that people implement in their lives because they believe they're true. People want to practice what's true, right? So, number 6, how much of your knowledge of God contains religious notions? That's worth some self-examination. Look at your knowledge of God, compare it to the knowledge that you've gained from God's words, and just like the Trinity, do you still, cherish the idea of the Trinity in your heart, or have you completely let it go? Because you need to believe in the one true God, and you can't believe in the religious God, which is the Trinity. You have to believe in the real God. So yeah, I think. I don't think I'm going to read in the next chapter. I think that those were some loaded questions, and you'll definitely need to ponder them. I don't even know what a loaded question is. I don't know why I said that, because I don't know what that means. I'm sorry if that means something bad. I don't know what that means. I just think that those are like questions worth pondering. So, and that should be enough for today, or for now. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. God bless, and goodbye. Oops.